I grew up in a small town in Nebraska, the kind of place with one grocery store, one diner, and a high school surrounded by miles of empty fields. Behind that school was an old dirt path that led to a stretch of land nobody used anymore. We called it the backfield. Kids would sneak out there at night to drink, smoke, or just get away from town for a while. When I was a senior, a few friends and I decided to walk out there after a football game. It was late, close to midnight, and the air had that cold, quiet stillness that comes right before a storm. We followed the dirt path for about half a mile until the school lights disappeared behind us. The only thing we could see ahead was the faint glow of the moon reflecting off the frost. Then my friend Josh stopped and said, "Do you hear that?" At first, I thought it was just wind, but it wasn't. It was humming, soft and steady, like a woman's voice somewhere out in the dark. We froze, listening. The sound was getting louder, closer, but we couldn't tell from which direction. "Probably someone from town messing with us," I said, trying to sound calm. But deep down, it didn't feel like that. It felt wrong. We turned to head back, but the path behind us looked different, now darker, narrower. The school lights were gone. Then the humming stopped, and from somewhere just beyond the tree line, a voice whispered, clear as day, "Stay." We took off running. I didn't look back until we burst out of the woods and onto the football field behind the school. The lights had flickered back on. Everything looked normal again. The next morning, when we went back to grab the jackets we'd dropped, the dirt path was gone. I don't mean hard to see, I mean gone. Just grass, as if no one had ever walked there. When we asked one of the older teachers about it, he frowned and said, "You kids, stay out of that field. They stopped using that land for a reason." When I pressed him, he told me something I'll never forget. Back in the 1950s, before the high school was built, the town had a small church out there, and a graveyard behind it. A fire wiped it out, and the town built over the area years later. They say sometimes, when the weather turns and the air gets still, you can still hear the old choir humming through the trees, guiding lost kids back toward the graves they disturbed. I've moved far from that town now, but every fall, when the air gets cold and still, I can still hear that faint humming if I stand outside long enough. Soft, steady, and patient,